Good afternoon, everybody. Sorry we're a bit late. We just had a few technical issues there, so sorry for keeping you, and thank you for joining us today. So for today's Learning Lab, we are going to take you through tips and tricks to improve data entry efficiency. Just before we get started, I'll just go through the usual introductions and housekeeping. So for those of you that don't know me, I'm Fiona. I work in the customer success team, and today taking us through the Learning Lab will be Intacct. So for housekeeping, microphones will be muted throughout the session. There is a question panel box on your GoToWebinar panel. Please pop in any questions that you have as we go through in the question box. So today's session is going to be recorded. So if there's anybody who is unable to make the full session, or if anybody was unable to make the session at all today, the recording will be emailed to you at the end of today, and please do feel free to share this with colleagues. Okay, let's get into the agenda of what we're going to go through today. So, Zinthale is going to take you through how to customize your data entry screens. Then she's going to take you through looking at views and filters on those views. We're going to then go into recurring journal entries and tailoring our user preferences. Then she's going to talk you through all the different types of keyboard shortcuts that are available, and finally finish them with some record and transaction data entry tips. So without further ado, I will pass you over to Zinthale.
Thank you so much, Fiona. As Fiona said, my name is Zintle, and we're firstly going to jump into customizing entry screens. I will live demonstrate on how to add, remove, and rearrange lines, item, fields, as well as set default values. And one thing to note before we go through this, any changes made to the display of line items in a transactions entry page affects all users of that page. And another thing to note, only standard fields can be set onto default. I will demonstrate on how to customize a screen. We'll go through to our demo system. Say you are entering an AP purchase invoice with 20 lines, where most lines are for the same department and location. Before entering the lines items, set the default values to the department and location that you want and apply the default. I'll show you how. Go to your AP purchase invoice and you add an AP purchase. Okay, so on the entry lines, you see there's a show defaults, and you will select your department that you are entering. You select your location as well, and you select apply default. It's going to populate at the bottom of the entries. So every line that you enter, it's going to populate the department and the location, which makes it quicker for you to fill in accounts and the transactions amount. So then after you set that, you fill in everything else, and then you post your invoice. Okay. So to end, the invoice entry layout is another shortcut that we're going to go through today. To organize the layout entry for your invoices, you can navigate to your invoices. I'll demonstrate also on our demo system. So let's say you are changing the views on your invoice entry layout. This is your invoices. And you go to your invoice. Apologies about that. Okay, so you go to your invoice page to set up your views, to manage your views and create your views. Okay, so this is where you can create your views on how you want to see, on what you would like to see on your invoice page. This is how you create one. You select manage, and then you select create new views. Say you want to add due date on your invoice page, you will select that, and then you go to next. And then you can arrange how you see your page in the invoices, and you select next again, and you select next, and you select next. And you can name your invoice, your views, sorry about that. Let's say it's Learning Lab at this time. If you want everyone to see the views that you have created, you will select deploy. If you don't want to see anyone else to see the view, you leave that blank, and then you will save that. So now whenever you want to see the due date on the page, on the invoice page, you will come to all, and then you will select Learning Lab, which is the one that we just created, and the due date that we added is populating there. So it will show on your AP purchase invoices, and this can be done on AP, it can be done on AR, or any application that you would like to manage your views on. Right. So now you can also, we have something that is called using beta to view your screens. So with using beta, there's beta select listed there. So all you have to do is select that to turn it off on, I'm sorry. So with beta views, you can also arrange, filter, add, delete columns, sort columns in ascending order or descending order. You can list views, or you can split screens for a quick way to see or drill down to an invoice or customer details without opening the invoice or customer one by one. So this is what I mean by that. On the left side, you can see these are your invoices, and the first invoice, it's showing on the right side. So whenever you want to go through every invoice and you don't want to open one invoice at the time, you just click the invoice that you want to see, and on your left side is going to populate every information on that invoice. And to switch that from that screen, you can select that window, and it's going to show you the views. And to manage the views on beta, you just select manage views, and you create your new views, and you save as whatever you name that. And also in this display as well, you are able to deploy to everyone. You are also able to just see it as for yours on screen only. Next slide. And next up, we are going to be talking about recurring journal entries. So there's a fastest way to add new recurring entry journal schedules is by viewing the or editing any posted journal entries. So I will also demonstrate on that. So on your system, you go to your general ledger and journal entries, and you select view transaction on general journal. So you view a journal, or you can select edit that journal, and you select more action, and you select recur. On the recur, you will see transaction, and you will see the schedule. So you want to select schedule, and you select the date, start date of that. Let's say it will be Monday the 10th, and when it ends, say it never ends. And when you want it to be posting, you can select the day, the week, the month, depending on what schedule you have. Let's select week, and you type in your email there, and then you save. And you will have to select the parent journals if your system requires you to do that, and you save, and then it's gonna give you the next. Okay, right, moving right along. The next thing we're going to be talking about is tailoring your user preferences. So you can create shortcuts as well for you here. And you can also create shortcuts that can be seen by everyone else on the system. I will demonstrate your own shortcuts. Okay, so following our last learning lab on dashboards, to access your dashboard quickly, you can simply set it up as your start page by clicking on your username. Right. Let's go back to our system. So your username will be appearing on your top right. You just select username and then you click on My Preferences. And you'll have your general information there. And then you scroll down, there's your security preferences, which is not what we're looking for right now. And you go to display. And then it says My Start Page. You select there. Default is what you currently have now. And we would like to see dashboards. You select dashboards. And you select at the bottom which dashboard you would like to see. And I'll choose the demo dashboard. Demo resources, apologies, and then you save that. After you have saved that, you will have to refresh your screen and log back into Intacct again, and it will appear like that when you log back in. Your demo resources will be there, and you are able to get the dashboard that you have set as your start page with the applications and everything else on that dashboard. Okay. You can also create shortcuts as your favorite dashboard by simply selecting applications. See, on applications, there's dashboard and there's the star next to it. You just select that star to make it your favorite, or you can select any other application that you would like to be in your favorites, which you'll be most probably working on a daily basis. Say you want general ledger accounts, you select that as a star, and whenever you want to just go to the applications that are your favorite, you just select the star on your top left next to the home page, and you will see there is your general ledger account, there's your dashboard, your accounts. So whenever you select general ledger accounts, it's going to take you straight to the general ledger accounts, and you'll be able to navigate and do whatever you are probably needing to do on the general ledger account. Right. Moving right along. So we have keyboard shortcuts. So there are some useful shortcut keys with Intacct. We have a list like that you can go through whenever you have a minute and read through the list and see which shortcut you will be mostly using. I'll demonstrate on how to get to that shortcut. You will, next to your username, you can select help and support next to it, and select the help center. On the help center on the search bar, you just type in shortcut. And then it's going to populate all keyboard shortcuts. You just select that. And then it's going to give you the record and transact shortcuts, your line entries, your drop down fields, calculations. So that's the easiest way to get all of them. I will only show you some of the examples sorry, that we have selected for you. Say on recording and transacting data entries. We will use the shortcut keys to demonstrate that. Okay, so let's use the AP purchases we were using. So we are adding a new AP purchase invoice, and we want to use our shortcut keys. We can turn off bit. Now on our AP purchase invoice, the date is there, and we want to add the GL posting date. Just leave your cursor there. Sorry about that. Just leave your cursor there. Say that you want the GL posting date to be the first day of the week. Only type W on your keyboard, and it's gonna put the GL posting date on the first week of that month. First day of the week for that month that is selected on the posting date, and the due transaction date, and say you want to be the first day of the year, you just type W, and that will be the 1st of January 2025. So you can go through the Help Center. It's also going to give you many other alphabets that you can use to demonstrate and also to record your transactions on our system. Right. That is all. I will take you back to Fiona right now.
Super, thank you for that, Zintle. Great tips in there. So now we will open up for questions. So if anybody has any questions, you can pop those in that question box that I mentioned at the start, which is on the right hand side of your GoToWebinar panel, or you can take yourself off mute and ask any questions. What we'll do is we'll just give that a moment for any questions to come through, and then we'll wrap up. Okay, can't see any questions coming through at the moment, but if any do come to you after today's session, then feel free to get in touch with the support department or myself. On screen there is also ways you can contact support if you have any issues or any questions you'd like to raise. You can contact our support. There's also resources available to you to contact the Sage community and join up with other Intacct users. And also you've got the Help Center and the Sage University for any further resources. That can all be accessed through Intacct. Okay, if you just pop to the last slide on the PowerPoint there, Zintle, it's just got my details. So my email address is on screen there now. If you do have any questions, please pop them over to me or the support department as said. If you have any ideas of any future learning labs that you'd like to see, then drop me an email regarding that. We appreciate any feedback you can give us. We do hope you've enjoyed today's session. Our next session is going to be on the release 1 of 2025, new release that's coming down to your screens tomorrow from Sage. So we'll be putting on our own Highlights Learning Lab for that on the 20th of February, and you should receive an invite to that Learning Lab very shortly. And you should also receive a copy of today's session, the recording of today's session via email today as well. So any problems with any of receiving any of those, please do drop me a message and I can get those sent out to you. That's everything from me. I do hope you've enjoyed today's session. Thank you, Zintle, for putting that on, and we look forward to seeing you at the next one. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.